Welcome to another brand new episode of Undisputed Nerds. This is the podcast where we have some fun talking about some sci-fi stuff, superhero stuff, movies, TV shows, games, all the galore. I'm your boy, Zane Taicho. Sometimes I'm known as the Boba Fett of Mandalorian. He's known as the Grogu of my heart, the gentlemanly gamer.
What introduction was that? We did not agree to any of that. In what world am I Grogu? How is it? Because I got a big head. Is that what you're trying to say?
I mean, it's...
Careful. Careful where you're going with that, Zane. Yeah, depending on what night I've been on, I do wake up green in the morning. Yes, hello everyone. Welcome out there in Radio Land. I hope you are doing very well. Yeah, that was a superlative introduction, Zane. I think that's probably one of your best ones ever.
Thank you.
This really dislike the fact that you called yourself Boba Fett and the Mandalorian both in one. You are nothing like Din Djarin. I thought you were going to call me Din Djarin. I was getting excited for it. I was like, yes,
I nearly went there.
I'll be Pedro Pascal any day of the week. Yes, and then you went Grogu, and I was like, what is that? What is that?
The Grogu of my heart. I said. I thought it was a nice little compliment.
It was very sweet, and now I shall force push you through the wall. Yes. How are you, Zane? How are you doing? How's your week been?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, not too bad. I've been watching Bad Batch this week.
Have you? You've gone back to the Bad Batch?
I have gone back to
the Bad Batch. Fast. And how is it?
It's been exhausting until the most recent episode.
Oh dear. Yeah. Is it not Filoni's finest? Is that what you're trying to tell us?
A little bit, but then in the latest episode, there's a great callback to what's that amazing PlayStation game that everyone loves? Knights of the Old Republic.
It wasn't. It was. If you see, you've angered the Grogu gods already here, because it was originally an Xbox game way back when. Knights of the Old Republic.
I thought it was on PS1 as well.
Are you seriously telling me that Bad Batch it was not on PS1? Don't ever say that to me again.
Okay.
It was an Xbox exclusive for many years. It was the main reason above Halo why I bought an original Xbox.
Wow!
Because of Knights of the Republic. Are you telling me that there's a Knights of the Old Republic callback in the Bad Batch?
Yes.
Why would you do that to me? Because now I'm going to have to watch the Bad Batch.
Yep.
I'm actually going to talk about Knights of the Republic later as well, which is interesting. So that is interesting that you brought that up. Good. Well, we shall. That's okay. So Bad Batch basically isn't worth watching, but because I'm a die-hard Star Wars nerd, I'm going to have to watch it for the Knights of the Republic reference. Now, is what you're saying?
I mean, can you call yourself a Star Wars fan if you're not watching Bad Batch?
Oh, I hate you so much right now. Oh,
because I mean, right now, I guess that makes me more of a Star Wars fan right now. Is that?
Yeah, it says the man who thought Knights of the Republic was on the PlayStation. Do me a favor. Let's just say we're both Star Wars fans.
How about that? Fans, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Grogu of my heart. Well, that's good. I'm glad you've been doing that this week. I have, so in preparation, and no spoilers, please, for anything coming up or for anything happening, because I am watching this with a friend who who has never watched it before, and I am trying to bring them up to date for the current series when it comes out. I have been rewatching the entirety of Doctor Who, not original series, I should point out, but post Rebirth, so Eccleston era onwards,
2005 onwards.
2005 onwards, and I am now up to Matt Smith era with them, and it's the first time they've ever watched them. So they didn't know anything about David Tennant's "He will knock 4 times" and that, and then the Doctor will die.
Yes.
They didn't know
anything about in the snow.
Yeah, the Ood, not the Odo. That's
sorry,
Odo. Deep Space Nine. That is. Yeah, they didn't know anything about it. They didn't know about Bad Wolf. They didn't know about Harold Saxton and Utopia and all that. So it's like it's been so nice watching all of this stuff through, and then we're on the first. We just finished the Weeping Angels episodes of Matt Smith. You know, the one where they're in it's the crash of the Byzantium. It's when River Song shows up, and there is a part in that, and I'm again no spoilers because this person will listen to this podcast and they will know that we are talking about them. So I'm not going to spoil anything. But there is a point in that episode where Matt Smith talks about time can be rewritten, and then he does like a motion with his hands and stuff like that, and that directly correlates into the 50th episode. And I completely missed it the first time I saw it. And then when I watched the 50th again, and then watching it back with this person, I was like, oh my God, that's where he has that idea for that. Holy hope. Yeah, right? I know. It blew my mind, Zane. It was like, honestly, it's been so rewarding watching this back because like that is 2.5 seasons later that what he does in that one episode comes to fruition in the 50th. And I was like, oh, that is exactly what he's talking about. Oh my God, that's amazing. So it's been a hell of an experience rewatching it back and doing that. Yeah, it's great. And I'm really excited to go through like the Capaldi era as well again, because when he was first the Doctor, I was going through some very difficult life, like real life stuff. So I didn't really follow it avidly. And then I kind of watched it back in like a bit of a rush. And I remember his last series being exceptional. And I was really impressed by his last series. But like, I'm just really excited to see some of his episodes again and see him as the Doctor and what it was like. And then we'll have to slog through the Jodie Whittaker series again, just so that they're up to date and they know what's coming for the future. So yeah, it's been really exciting. Like if anyone is a Who fan and is excited about Russell T Davies coming back as the head writer, I would highly recommend rewatching the Rebirth from 2005, because I genuinely forgot how good David Tennant's last series was, like with Donna Noble in it. With the exception of I think 2 episodes which were a bit meh, everything else was a banger, Zane. Like it was so good. Like it was so good. I was like Midnight was amazing.
I was thinking of Midnight this week because I was on a train and I was like, there's that episode with David Tennant, and it's just so self-contained because it's just on that train. There's no
the
intensity is amazing.
The Stolen Earth is amazing, where you get the reveal about the planetary alignments and stuff. Even the Adipose episode is ridiculous. Oh, Turn Left is
Left's a great
finest episodes of Doctor Who like ever created. See, it's really good. we have to do like our favorite Doctor Who episodes when the new series is coming out.
Maybe we should do a Who watch.
Yeah, well, yeah, possibly. It's the 60th, isn't it? 60th anniversary is this year, end of this year, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Because they're doing 3 episodes of it. Because there's 3 specials apparently, and we've only seen and again, no spoilers for it, not even trailer spoilers, but we've seen the trailer for the 60th, so we know kind of the stuff that's going on a little bit with Ncuti Gatwa and that side of things. But apparently, there's 2 other. The trailer that we've seen only covers the first episode, so there's 2 other episodes where there's
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. So Matt Smith definitely coming back, isn't he? He's definitely coming back for it. Did you see that interview with him where he was talking about? Somebody asked him, "Would you want to be Morbius again or Doctor Who?" And he went, "Well, as much as I would do probably do a second Morbius film, I'd rather do Doctor Who because it was the best gig I've ever done."
Oh,
did you see that?
I think
like 60th is coming up.
Do you think Eccleston will ever return?
I don't know now, honestly, because he's doing Big Finish, isn't he?
Yeah.
So Big Finish is for those of you not in the know, Big Finish is the audiobooks that Paul McGann's Doctor famously got a really good shake of the tail at when he was only featured in the movie, and then the subsequent stuff through Big Finish. So the fact that he's now open to doing Doctor Who stuff, I think it will depend if he's repaired his relationship with Russell T Davies, because they had a massive falling out, and that's why he didn't do it. But Christopher Eccleston's not. He doesn't seem like the kind of person to hold a grudge. You're right, Zane.
Sorry, I was getting flashbacks to CM Punk. No.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay. Good. He couldn't run a target. There you go. That's an inside joke there for any wrestling fans. So yes, I've been rewatching Doctor Who. Sorry, I went off on a big Who tangent then. It's because I was so excited about rewatching it. It's really good. But yes, that's how you and I originally became friends, isn't it? Through Who?
Yeah, one of the many reasons.
Just Who. We used to work together, guys, at the company that shall remain nameless, and I came in, and he was a fresh-faced customer support agent alongside myself. Neither of us are anymore.
That's so dashing back then.
Clearly, the experience of both of us being a customer support agent made us hate it so much that we've never wanted to do it again. And I saw a Doctor Who calendar on his desk, and it was love at first sight, wasn't it, Zane?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, you loved that calendar.
Yeah. And then you tested my knowledge on DC Comics. You were like, have you ever heard of Blackest Night? And I was like, heard of it.
Heard of it? What is it? Oh. Speaking of DC Comics, I also picked up this week. It's a bit of an old one now, but I thought I'd give it a go because I've never read it. It is Brian Azzarello with Jim Lee art. It is Superman for Tomorrow.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've got volume 1 and 2 of it. Yeah, so I believe it's New 52, or it might be just after New 52. And yeah, it looks pretty good, man. Looks pretty good.
That's a nice cover.
Yeah, isn't it? Isn't how cool does that look?
I've got that comic.
Have you?
I've got it, yeah.
I think this is the series where he hooks up with Wonder Woman, I think. I could be wrong.
Am I going to have to get it out to compare?
I beg your pardon? I mean, if you really want to, I think we both know. I think we both know whose is going to be the thicker. I'm holding up my book right now, guys, for those of you who are listening. Hello, Zane. Welcome back. I was just filling in the listeners on what you were doing for the audio medium.
So
yes.
For Tomorrow, it says that, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, mine is...
Yeah, yours is all of it. So hang on a sec. I told you I got volume 1, volume 2.
Right, okay.
So yeah, and I believe that's Wonder Woman on the back. That's not Lois Lane. So yeah, I think, but I'm not sure. Oh no, maybe it is Lois Lane. Does Wonder Woman have the power to stop him? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, I haven't read it yet. We'll see. We'll find out. Anyway, Zane, that's been a long tangent. What are we talking about this week?
This week, we are going into we're going to talk about The Mandalorian.
Wow, you really struggled then. You're right. We're going to talk about Doctor Who again. I mean, The Mandalorian.
I wanted to say we're going to go back to Mandalore, but then I guess that's kind of a spoiler. So, but then you've seen the title of this episode, so
it's in the trailer. Yeah, I mean, we're not really talking about. Yeah, I think we're going to do more. It's going to be more predictions, isn't it, about this rather than just a review of episode 1. I think we're going to do like, like what we think is going to happen this season. So obviously the first episode's dropped and the second one is out now as well. If you haven't seen it, which I have not yet seen the second episode, so I apologize. Yes, it's fine though. It's okay. Yeah. It's all right. I've still got plenty to talk about after the first episode. And also, you can clarify some things to me because, as I said to you beforehand on the show, before we started this show, I did say it's going to be quite difficult for me to think about this because I get very confused between this and the Book of Boba Fett, which was basically Mandalorian season 2.5. So yes, the lines will be blurred. But that's fine. It's all good.
It's okay. It's
Yeah,
fine.
it's all right. It's all right. Yes. Anyway, so yeah, should we have some delicious adverts before that?
Ooh, yeah. Why not?
Let's see what's coming next. Go for it.
I'd like to thank the sponsor of today's video, Surfshark VPN, who have given me, now get this, 83% off plus 3 months free. So if you've been meaning to pick up a VPN, now might be the time. Surfshark is a trusted VPN to help you protect your privacy online. Whether that's protecting yourself from malicious websites or if you're in a public Wi-Fi connection, you can keep your information locked down. Surfshark's clean web feature blocks ads, trackers, malware, and phishing attempts, allowing you to surf the web safely. Plus, it lets you change your virtual location. So if there's an anime on Netflix that's not available in your country, but say in Japan, guess what? You're in Japan now. You want to use BBC iPlayer to watch all of Doctor Who. So pick up Surfshark using the link in the description down below. Use code Undisputed Nerds and get 83% off and 3 months free.
Got to sort that out. So yes, good job, Zane. Thank you for steering me on the right path. Go get Surfshark, guys. Mandalorian. Let's head straight into the Mandalorian. For anyone missing our regularly recurring segment, we're giving it a bit of a rest. We're giving Batman 360 No Scope a bit of a rest. So if anyone's
Is 360 enough?
he's murdered. I mean, the death toll has been horrific. So he needs a little break. So we're gonna have a little break from doing that for a bit, and we'll think up something new. But yes, so Mandalorian season one, episode 1 of season 3 has come out. I mean, it didn't really give us much, did it?
What, the first episode?
Yeah, it was all just setting the scene.
Yeah, but then I feel like if no one's ever seen Star Wars or The Mandalorian or anything, it was like the most amazing mini episode of Star Wars without Jedis I've ever seen.
Okay, let me ask you a very serious question. If somebody, if there is a person who has their head buried in the sand enough that they have never seen Star Wars, any Star Wars of any kind, of any of the 9 films or the conglomerate media that is out there of Star Wars, if nobody has ever experienced or played or seen it, why in the hell would they start on season 3 of The Mandalorian?
Maybe they just want to check it out to see what the hype is. Maybe
they love Katie Sackhoff and they just wanted to see her.
Or maybe, you know, there's people who are fans of Mercedes Monet and they wanted to check it out. Maybe
so they checked out season 2 then.
Well, maybe there's people who have started dating and hanging out and decide to Netflix and chill, but instead of Netflix, it's Mando and chill.
Oh, I'm sure they'll be able to feel the force if they do that. Yes, okay. I mean, I don't know where you're going with this, and I'm terrified of it. So thanks. Should we have a recap of where we're at after obviously, because you know we had Mandalorian season 1 and then we had Mandalorian season 2 and then that was it, right? There wasn't anything in between, and we just go straight into season 3.
I mean, you're kind of missing out the most iconic Mandalorian.
What do you mean? The last thing I saw was that Luke Skywalker took Grogu away, and the Mandalorian's on his own, right? That's where we left it.
Oh boy, did you miss a sensational season of The Book of Boba Fett?
I'm sorry. What series is that? I don't recognize the name.
It's just kind of this mini series. It's kind of
all right.
You know, yeah, some would say it's like an indie pop band that you've never heard of. But it's okay. It's okay.
Okay, and that was about someone else, right? That wasn't about the Mandalorian.
Well, maybe the book of one Mandalorian, but the season finale had 2 Mandalorians.
Are you trying to tell me that the Book of Boba Fett was abridged and it had a Mandalorian chapter in it?
Maybe the last 3 or 4 episodes was Mando 2.8.
I am, of course, being facetious, guys. We all remember that Grogu failed the Jedi Academy. That's right, he failed it and was stricken out by Luke Skywalker in a violent fury. No, he wanted to go back, didn't he? He didn't want to be a Jedi. He wanted to go back and be with Mando. So he went back, and they had a big Rancor fight in the streets in Tatooine.
Iconic.
And then Grogu calmed the Rancor down and was all like, "No, don't be angry. It's all right, Mr. Rancor." Pretty sure that's what happened, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, no, that's where it picks up, isn't it? Really, is that he has revealed to his native Mandalorian clan that he has exposed his face to Grogu in an act of immense love. And as a result of removing his helmet, he is no longer Mandalorian, because according to that particular sect of the Mandalorians, you may not. What? It's true.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. There's loads of other Mandalorians who take the helmet. Look at Bo-Katan, for goodness sake. Yeah, he's not a Mandalorian anymore. So this season, his mission, as shown by the trailers as well, is he needs to take a sacred quest to reclaim his Mandalorian title, birthright. I don't know what we'd call
his
it.
honor, I think.
His honor, yes, his honor. There you go. That's a good one. And it looks like this season's going to be full of Mandos, isn't it? Really, let's be honest.
Yeah. Which isn't a bad thing, I don't think. Do you?
I have a lot of theories about it, if I'm honest with you.
Okay. How are you finding it so far? Like after that first episode,
I thought honestly, it didn't set my world on fire. The first episode, I thought it was very much but it's kind of traditional for Mandalorian seasons. The first couple of episodes are kind of like establishing filler, a little bit episodes, and then it gets really hot by like episode 3, 4, and then you're like, okay, this has gotten really good, and now it's getting even better. So they need. The problem with the Mandalorian is inherent by its nature. There's a lot of lore and history to the Mandalorian culture, because they're not a species. They're a cult, basically. And for an average everyday viewer, who, even if you just watch the films, they're not really featured at all in any of the Star Wars films. So unless you know the extended universe, the extended lore, you don't really know what's going on. You don't know that there's a planet called Mandalore. You don't know that planet was at one point populated by this entire religion of Mandalorians. You need to establish that in addition to the planet being called Mandalore, there is also a sole figurehead who is supposed to be a leader of all Mandalorians, known as Mandalore. And the Darksaber, which is a type of lightsaber, was wielded by Mandalore, and it is if you wield that saber, you basically are the leader of the Mandalorians. You are Mandalore.
Yeah.
That is never established in anything other than the extended universe and this series. So, I get that they needed to set up all of this, and, him seeking out his people. What's interesting is, I will say, what was interesting about this was, I thought, because you get a little ritual, Mandalorian ritual, where the kid is putting on the helmet for the first time, and you see some children Mandalorians. The sect is growing again, because when you see them in the Book of Boba Fett, there's only 3 of them left. Yeah. There's Mandalore, but there's the Mandalorian. There's I can't remember what the characters' names are, but there's the armor smith who makes all the weapons and the armor for him out of the Beskar armor, is it? Whatever. Beskar, that's it. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And then there's the big guy with the heavy machine gun, the Gatling gun Felamidu.
Vizsla, yeah.
Vizsla, thank you. And you like that was the last time we saw them, and now there's like quite a lot of them again. And they're doing a ritual, and then he comes and saves a lot of them from getting munched. And then he tells the armor smith what the what the mission is for him this season, which is to go to Mandalore and reclaim his honor. So I was surprised to see that many Mandalorians again. In seemingly quite a short space of time. I don't know what you thought.
Yeah, so a few things to kind of unpack there. I think they are really ramping up in terms of who is going to be the new leader for the Mandalorians going forward. If that is Dinge or if that's going to be Bo-Katan. Because it's going to be that sort of jostle between the two of them, I think, going forward. But in terms of that first episode, you're right. Like it's showing that the clan is growing, and they're more and more of these clans you have to suspect are kind of doing similar things out there, and kind of coming more together and creating more pockets of the clans, similar to the Mandalorian legend of the clans uniting the people, becoming the people. As the first episode goes, I think it was really fun. I thought it was really weird that there was like a Davy Jones squid, like alien faced pirate at the end. But again, it that first episode gave me everything. It gave me puppets building robots. It gave me it just gave me that Star Wars feel, dogfights in space and stuff. I really enjoyed it.
It was really nice to see. Oh God, what's his name? It was really nice to see Apollo Creed again. What's his name?
Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers. That's it. It was really nice to see Carl Weathers again come back, and to see like the town that he saved in the very first episode is now a really thriving hub of the galaxy. And old Taika Waititi pulled out his IG-88 voice again, didn't he? It was, it was a nice little callback to the beginning, and they very, very heavily explained why Gina Carano's not around anymore. It wrote her out very quickly, didn't they? Why isn't the sheriff here? Well, she's gone off, hasn't she, mate? Yeah, don't worry about it. She's just off doing her own thing. Whatever. Yeah. As far as Bo-Katan, it's interesting you mentioned Bo-Katan. I agree with you to a point, but I have a different theory about what's going to happen. Bo-Katan is beaten. Like she's like she lost the Darksaber in the first place to Moff Gideon, and then she couldn't even beat him for it back. Din Djarin had to do that. She doesn't have any claim to the throne, so you might be right. She might try and challenge for it. But I don't. I think she's the definition of a Mandalorian without honor. She has no honor right now. She's lost her helmet. I'm sure people are going to disagree with this in the comment, and fair enough if you do. She's lost her helmet. She has a very, small amount of people following her now. She may try and challenge for it, but truthfully, I think Din could beat her quite handily very quickly.
Interesting.
But huh?
Interesting.
But what you said is more interesting, is that there are loads of clans out there at the moment. I think I've mentioned it on the show before, that I think there's going to be I think Filoni is gearing up for if the rumors are true and they're bringing Kevin Feige for Star Wars stuff as well, I wouldn't be surprised if they use Filoni as a creative control as well on this. And I think he's gearing up for a Mandalorian Jedi war. I really do. And I think we're going to see some, because we've never seen that before. We've never seen a Mandalorian Jedi. Then nobody really realizes how dangerous the Mandalorians are in the galaxy, and we've been getting much more of a feeling for how Mandalorians can go toe to toe with Jedi, and in some cases killed them. Like it's not cut and dry who's going to win that fight. You saw it when Din faced
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka, yeah, and completely held his own. And if it had kept going, she probably would have won, but you don't know for sure.
Yeah.
Whereas if you not a normal fight, it's like, oh yeah, Jedi's going to win that. So they are. I think he really is gearing up for it. So I think you are right. I think we will see the coming together of clans on this one. I think his journey to Mandalore is going to reveal more. And I haven't seen the second episode, obviously. So
Okay.
I could. There could be stuff that's been disproven already. But I think that it's going to be a case of probably legends are legends for a reason, and Mandalore is probably not as destroyed as everyone thinks it is. I think there will probably be some remnants of some things on Mandalore, potentially different clans, I would imagine, are still there. Because all we know is that the Empire turned the planet to glass, didn't they? They basically dusted
sands.
it.
Yeah.
So I think that there's going to be other clans that are there, probably with a Mandalore claiming to be the head of it. And I think in classic Din Djarin fashion, he'll have the Darksaber with him, and everyone will start coming after him. And just through him being, refusing to give up because it's his character, he'll end up probably being Mandalore, I would guess. Whether it's by the end of this season or in the future, but it's too clear that he's too much of a good Mandalorian not to be Mandalore. You know what I mean? And he's already proven he's very adept and good at bringing people together. And leading. He does lead. I mean, look at Boba Fett's situation. Boba Fett was floundering like crazy, and then Mando turned up and fixed everything.
Yeah, he was the ace in the pocket in that scenario. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. I guess the other element to it as well is we have to. So knowing what we know from other Star Wars properties like the Clone Wars, it makes me wonder if Death Watch is still around and if they could be a potential problem. We know Vizsla is in. Who's like one of the, I don't know, descendants, you could say, is in the clan that Din is part of. But yeah, I kind of wonder if there's any other sort of famous clans and to be fair, apparently John Favreau has a lot more freedom with this series than he did in previous ones. So it's going to be really interesting to see what his sort of vision and again what he wants Mandalore to be shaped as.
Well, if I know John Favreau, we're going to get a lot of Awoogas followed by gladiators ready. There's two. So I wonder if it's interesting that you talked about the fact that Bad Batch had some Knights of the Old Republic callback, because that to my mind is, with the exception of Boba Fett and Mandalorian and Din, like the most famous Mandalorian that I know of is from the Knights of the Old Republic computer game. So that there's a character called Cassius Ordo, who travels with Revan, who is the main character in Knights of the Republic. And then he eventually, it's revealed in the second game, he unites all of the clans of Mandalore, and becomes Mandalore himself.
Oh wow!
And his journey is fantastic. And we basically he takes the Mandalorians from the scraps that they are at the beginning of, because at that point in Knights of the Republic there has been a Jedi Mandalorian war, which Revan wins, and essentially scatters the Mandalorians across the galaxy and wipes them out. And in doing so, that's what turns him to the dark side. That's why he's then Darth Revan. And Cassius takes the clans from the scattering that they are to back into a force to be reckoned with, and a Mandalorian fleet. And it feels like they are following a similar tale with Din Djarin, only he's a very reluctant leader instead of being this is what we're definitely going to do. And so maybe we'll get some callbacks to Knights of the Republic, and you'll see some history of the Mandalorians and what a true threat they were, to the galaxy, because at one point the Mandalorians were an invading force that did, conquer and try and take over the galaxy, and that's the Jedi had to stop them. So we may get some callbacks to that. We may get some past history, hopefully, which would be really cool. The thing I was going to say, which is that the main thing that I think is actually going to happen this season, or it may not happen this season, it might happen the following season. They've established that Boba Fett wants to be a crime lord and wants to be a leader, and wants to rule things. And the question I had for you is, at what point is Boba Fett going to not just be satisfied with Tatooine?
Ooh.
And at what point is Boba Fett going to then challenge Din Djarin for Mandalore? We haven't talked about it much because, the book of Boba Fett displayed a very different type of Boba Fett this time. Gone was the cutthroat bounty hunter, and suddenly this weird new, fun-loving, happy-go-lucky, God, Uncle. I love those Tusken Raiders, Uncle Boba turned up. But you have to imagine, there is a fan theory, by the way, out there that that's not the real Boba Fett. Have you seen this fan theory?
No. Do tell.
The fan theory is that the real Boba Fett did in fact die in the Sarlacc pit, and this is a clone trooper who has assumed the identity of Boba Fett because because he doesn't have anything else to. Not this sounds weird, but doesn't have any other mission. Like there's no other mission for him.
Right.
There's a couple of reasons behind that. Obviously, the fact that Jango and Boba look like all the other clone troopers because they're all based off him. But also, I thought this was actually genuinely quite clever, and I hadn't even thought about it. If you look at Boba Fett in the movies, his armor's really scruffy, scrappy, and horrible. But if you look at him in the Book of Boba Fett, his armor is clean and neat and shiny and polished, much like a Imperial soldier would be.
I can help with this.
Oh, go on.
So, from what my understanding is, when he got his armor back in season 2 of Mandalorian, and it was still scruffy and you know, paint job hadn't been touched up or anything. Once he had that armor, instead of just going along with the history it has in terms of its scratches, he puts a fresh coat on and it's newly matted and everything, because the battle scars haven't been earned since the do you know what I mean? Like,
I do. I know what you mean. Yeah, but I mean, again, why?
Because it's a rebirth.
But why? But you know what? But like, I know what you mean, and I understand what you're saying. But like, it's just a fan theory. I don't think it will be.
I like it. I like it
like
though.
That.
Yeah.
I mean, it would explain his character change, because he's very different to what he was like in the movies. You know, which is disappointing. Frankly, I would have much preferred a really cutthroat, like, you know, backstabbing Boba Fett, like that. A badass, exactly. Yeah. So possibly this season we're going to see, you know, we might towards the end of it see a turnaround of Boba Fett, and when he, you know, I wonder if the final sting of this season will be will be Din taking up the mantle of Mandalore on the planet Mandalore, and then Boba Fett hearing about it, you know, and that's what sets us up for season 4, is him realizing that Din has taken the throne of Mandalore and he wants it, you know, and then we could see the fight for Mandalore in season 4. It's a thought. I don't know whether I think what you said about Bo-Katan will probably be more true. It'll probably be like him and Bo-Katan this season and dealing with all that jazz. But yeah, I've talked a lot. What do you think?
I think one thing this series has to do, which the last season did exceptionally well, and dare I say something that the Book of Boba Fett did really well towards the end, is gave us some really good...
The Book of Din Djarin.
Gave us some really good mark out cameos. Like, end of season 2 gave us, Luke Skywalker, like, almost, well, I guess it's pinnacle Luke, shall we say? I mean, of course, AI voice and everything.
Luke in his prime.
Luke in his prime. End of Boba Fett, we got the bounty hunter whose name's just escaped me. I can't even remember now.
What?
Do you remember the bounty hunter from the Clone Wars? The blue face one?
Oh, Cad Bane.
Cad Bane, yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. I feel like they're going to throw in some more cameos. But what cameos do you think?
I mean, you're right. Ahsoka was in season 2 as well.
Yes, she was.
It's like, yes. So, are you ready for my coup de grace theory that a lot of people have banded around, and I think it's absolutely bang on the money?
Go on.
There is a theory out there that facially speaking and ethnicity speaking, Din Djarin bears a strikingly close resemblance to Ezra from Rebels. And there is a working theory out there that they are related in some way.
Oh.
Be it cousins, be it lost brothers, whatever might be the case. So some people have theorized that this season we're going to see Ezra from Rebels turn up and be in this series. I would not be surprised. I really wouldn't be surprised. We're going to see more. We're going to see more of like the TV series characters bleeding into live action now that Filoni is doing this. So yeah, probably Ezra Miller. I would guess we'll see Ezra Miller, not Ezra Miller. What's his name? Ezra Bridger. Thank you, Ezra Bridger. God.
Yeah,
Ezra Bridger. Ezra Miller on the brain. Yeah, he's going to do some serious force choking. Ezra Miller's going to turn up. He's going to turn fully to the dark side. You'll see. Allegedly. Allegedly. Yeah, Ezra Bridger will turn up this season. Who else?
I think there's a strong chance that whole crew might show up, like Hera, Sabine.
Yes, Sabine will definitely turn up. You're right, bang on the money. She will turn up because she is a Mandalorian. So that
and she's wielded the Darksaber as well.
And she has wielded, yes. But she's been in Rebels. She's heavily connected to Bo-Katan. So you're right. That's who will turn up. Forget Ezra. Sabine will turn up this series. I almost guarantee it. Like that will definitely happen this season. I wouldn't be surprised if she's the one on Mandalore actually when he goes there.
Interesting. Do you think we'll get to see General Admiral Thrawn?
General Grievous? No, he's gone, mate. He's dead. Died a while ago. Remember there was the old hello there, and then he got shot in the chest.
Shot to the heart. Yeah.
Yeah, and Obi-Wan's to blame. He gives hiding on Tatooine a bad name. Do I think we'll see General Thrawn, Grand Admiral Thrawn? Grand Admiral Thrawn, he's definitely not a prawn. I don't know. I don't think we will. No, I think they'll save that for the Ahsoka series. because he is. It's weird, you know, because I don't know how they're going to position Thrawn in Ahsoka, because he is, physically speaking, he's not.
Mhm.
He isn't really a fighter. You know,
No.
he's not. He's a thinker. He's a master strategist.
Mhm.
So he's not really a good physical competitor to Ahsoka. You know what I mean? She would make mincemeat out of him in about 5 seconds. So it is interesting that you said that, because I don't know is the short answer to that one, Zane. I really don't.
Okay.
I don't think we'll see Thrawn and Mando, but I don't know what his role's going to like. I don't know if he's going to be the big bad in Ahsoka, or if he's just going to be in it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if they've confirmed that or not.
I wonder, here's a theory, if he's going to be one of the founders of the First Order.
That's a cracking theory. Yes. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. That leads into, that's a really good. That's a great theory,
because there's no sort of legends to kind of work off, if you know what I mean, like sort of material.
Yeah.
But then we've got a kind of plan for what's already come.
Force Awakens.
So, yeah. They kind of, again, spoilers for Bad Batch, but they're kind of touching on that, where the cloning technology's been stolen. And it seems like they're breadcrumbing the fact that the Emperor is
it's going to come back.
Yeah.
In Fortnite.
In Snoke. But yeah, another
Rise of Skywalker was not good, was it? It really wasn't. No. I'm so disappointed. That's the way they ended it. It's just such a letdown. Sorry, go on.
Another sort of fan favorite and another bounty hunter that I wouldn't mind seeing in this is
Bosk.
Yes.
Is that what you were going to
say? Yeah. The big lizard man in the yellow jumpsuit.
The big lizard man, yeah. Jesus Christ. He's a Trandoshan, yes. Why would you want to see Bosch? Why do you want to see him, Bosk?
Why not?
Yeah, all right. If we're talking about bounty hunters, man, I want to see. So again, there's, I'm going to hark back to the old Knights of the Republic days, but there was a terrifying bounty hunter in Knights of the Old Republic 2 called Han-Ha, and he was a Wookiee. He was an evil Wookiee bounty hunter, and they've already had an evil Wookiee bounty hunter in Boba Fett. I want to see that evil bounty hunter come back again, and be like, evil. Maybe you're going to get a battle of the bounty hunters.
Maybe that should be season 2 of
Book of Boba Fett. Book of random Mandos.
Book of bounties.
I seriously don't think they'll do a season 2 of Boba Fett. I would be very surprised if they do.
I don't know. I think they'll do a second season.
I think it's much more likely to call it the Book of Mandalorians. Well, it'd be more interesting, wouldn't it? Because then you could do different chapters on different. You could have 2 episodes for Boba, 2 episodes for Bo-Katan, and 2 episodes for Mando, and then it's not like it's just a Boba Fett episode, Boba Fett series, where half of it's not even Boba Fett.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. There's so many things that they can do with, like you said. I mean, with Bad Batch, maybe they'll introduce, like you said, Death Watch characters and other people from it. I can see that happening. Rex is still alive, I believe. Yes. General Rex. I really wouldn't be surprised if it turns out that Boba Fett is actually Rex. Yeah. It's about the right age as well.
Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting, actually, thinking about it.
Yeah. Because we don't know what happened to him, and you and I both said, you and I actually said when we were reviewing Boba Fett, I remember it, the way he escapes the Sarlacc pit was really weak sauce. Like all he needed to do was punch through a wall and do a flamethrower, and that's how he got out. I'm sorry, that's really? Because if so, there must be quite a few people popping out that Sarlacc pit. It must go hungry quite often, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think I guess it depends on when the events took place, because there's definitely an episode of Rebels where they find the remaining clone troopers, and they just live in like I can't even remember the name of the ship, but it's like on a desert, and it's like 3 of the commandos left, basically, including Rex.
I do remember that. Yeah.
But like you said, he's that age where, you know, he just has a beard and he looks exactly like where
Boba
Bob
Fett
is
looks.
now.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know. There's, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff about that. I'm not convinced with what Boba Fett is right now. He just doesn't. There's just something amiss about the way that was written, and and it's rare for Filoni to write like that, where it seems such an odd. You know what I mean? Without a purpose, it's such an odd character motivation.
But that was more Rodriguez, wasn't it? He like wrote and directed, didn't he? Robert Rodriguez?
I don't know if he wrote the whole thing with Filoni.
Filoni
has creative. I mean, he has creative control over all the television stuff, doesn't he? So like, it doesn't get made without his approval.
Yeah, I think you're right. He's definitely exec producer.
Yeah.
But then, I wasn't sure if it was Favreau.
No, he's in on it with Filoni, but
okay.
Filoni is the head honcho, like as far as I'm aware. I could be wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong, guys. Right, write in and let us know. But no, I'm
Bob
pretty
Iger's
sure
writing to us right now. He's like,
yeah, Bob Iger's.
I'll
angry.
tell you who it is.
He's angry. Yeah, I'm the Mac Daddy.
It's Kathleen Kennedy.
Even though everyone apparently hates her for no apparent reason, even though she went a knee-jerk fan reaction. Listen. Yeah. It's a shame. I think that, just tangenting just slightly about the movies, if there's ever a reason to not immediately churn out movies, the sequel trilogy is the greatest example of letting something lie for a little bit before you make creative decisions that I have ever seen in my life. Because Force Awakens came out and everyone loved it, and they were all like, "Yeah, this is great," even though it was basically Episode 4 again. But it was generally very well received, and it was, it's fine. It's fine. It's not the worst Star Wars film. It's not the best Star Wars film. It's just fine for me. And then Last Jedi came out, and the fan base lost their mind with certain creative directions. I agree. Luke Skywalker being portrayed the way he was portrayed in that film, awful. I disagree with it completely. Absolutely, completely. I disagree with it. However, the other end of it, where Ben Solo was the big bad, and Jedis could be anyone, not just the Skywalker lineage, great, fantastic. Love that.
Perfect.
Absolutely love that. And then Rise of Skywalker was just like, what? What? Okay, we're going to do undo all of Ben's journey just to make him a good guy again, when we've just established that he's clearly a bad guy. And we got who's the big Palpatine? Really? That's what we're going with. We're going with Palpatine. Oh, and Rey is from that lineage. Okay. Great. And I'm happy that I am genuinely happy that Rey turned out to be a Palpatine. That bit was good. Like, that's the only bit of that film where I'm just like, yeah, that was good. I like that. And the reason why I like that is because she uses the exact same fighting style in Episode 7 as Palpatine uses in Episode 3. And like, very few people noticed it, because there's one like weird stabbing motion that Palpatine does that he's the only person to ever do it, until Rey did it as well in that episode, in that series.
Oh, interesting.
That film. But like, man, they should have just stuck with their guns. Like, it would have been so much better. Like, just give it time to breathe. Give Last Jedi time to breathe, because quite a lot of people have rewatched it and gone, actually, it's all right, man. It's not that bad. It's pretty good, and it's just so disappointing.
Well, there's a reason why there's no Star Wars movie in production right now. It's because they are taking their time. They're learning from
Yeah.
mistakes. One thing I wanted to say, going back to Mando, is that I am so excited for this TV show. Like, I know I'm slightly ahead with, only watching 2 episodes, but when I watched episode 2 last night, I was like, I cannot wait to see episode 3. And I can't remember the last time I was this excited. Maybe Stranger Things, but the whole series came out. So it wasn't like I had to wait. I'm so excited
mate,
for this season. And I can't think of the last show that made me this excited.
I wasn't super hyped about this season until I saw. So I was watching Sky with my partner, and there was a trailer for it on Sky, and then it got me hyped. Like, for me, the lore of this, or the draw of this, we haven't even talked about Grogu either, by the way. We've not mentioned him at all.
Do you think he could be the leader of Mandalore?
No.
I've seen that theory go around.
I think he will become a Mandalorian at some point. I really do. In history, the reason why the Darksaber exists is because a Jedi was a Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the Darksaber exists, because I think it was, whether it was the first Mandalore or one of the Mandalores, the mantle of it, he forged the Darksaber, and he was a Jedi. And ever since then, that's been the symbol of your Mandalore if you have the Darksaber. So a Jedi being, or a Force sensitive being Mandalore, it could happen. I think he will become a Mandalorian. I don't think he will be. I don't think he's ever going to challenge. Well, whilst he's young, he's never going to challenge Jin, because it's his dad. Din Djarin is his dad, so I don't see that happening. I don't think they'd kill him off either. I think that would be really weird, just to reintroduce him, just to kill him after they got rid of him after season 2. We might find it. Did we find out in Book of Boba Fett who saved him from the temple?
No. It's all a mystery.
That's still outstanding then.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever saved him might come for him.
Yeah. Hopefully, the rumor is that he'll start talking this season as well.
Oh,
or
cool.
This season or next.
Yeah.
So might find a little bit more about him.
It's about time, isn't it, really? How old are you? Like 100 years old? You're not talking yet? Jeez, come on, get yourself sorted. Come on, Grogu. There's a lot. I am excited for the season. I really am. Yeah, like I said, I'm more excited to see Mandalore in live action, like the planet Mandalore, because it's never been on screen in live action before.
No.
And I'm excited to see, because again, it'll be another indication of how devastating the Empire was, because they razzed the entire planet because of how deadly a threat the Mandalorians are. So it'll be very interesting to see what it looks like, if the whole planet is like glass or something. That'll be amazing. Visually speaking, I think it would be gorgeous. And just that whole mythology and legacy of the Mandalorians, I'm really excited to delve into again and explore. I think the only thing I'm as excited and I think will be just as fun is we talked about it at the beginning of the show, Doctor Who. That's the only thing that I'm super hyped for now. But yeah, loving Mandalorian. I mean, it's. I would argue it is the best produced Star Wars content since probably the original movies. I would say. I think it's better than the prequels. It's definitely better than the sequels. I like it more than the Clone Wars TV series. It's Rebels. I really, really liked Rebels, the TV show, the animated TV show. But I think this is slightly better. I mean, we're not talking about computer games, obviously, because Knights of the Old Republic for me is that's it. Like, that's the apart from the movies, that's the best thing. But I think it really is the best as far as live action, as far as television and film, Star Wars medium, I really do think it's the best.
I would agree with you. Like, I'm a big fan of the prequels. But yeah, I would say this is my favorite Star Wars TV show, movie, whatever you want to call it. This is my favorite of that medium.
Except the original. You cannot tell me you like Mandalorian better than A New Hope or The Empire Strikes Back.
Well, this is the thing. I didn't like it as a kid. It wasn't until I was in it. Well, yeah. I don't know. I like. Yeah. Yeah, I like the original more. Only just though.
That's fine. That's all right. I thought I was going to have to quit the podcast live on air.
I'm going to have the same conversation on Undisputed Anime and say how Star Wars Visions is my favorite.
You weak man. You weak man. Yeah, no, Empire Strikes Back is still my favorite.
Yeah, it's
Star Wars thing ever. It's just, it's absolutely, it's just perfect. No, no doubt in my mind, it's as far as live action, as far as TV and film work is concerned, easily next in line after the movies. Easily. Nothing else has come close to it in terms of being this good. And yeah, I guess we'll have to see. Did you see that some people are saying as well that Grogu is a clone of Yoda?
A clone?
A clone of Yoda.
Well, not so much a clone of Yoda, but I saw a theory that the first season, the reason that they wanted him was to
so they
be
could
able to clone him. Yeah.
But why would they need? Huh.
Because the theory I saw was that they wanted to capture him and clone him so that he could be a vessel for Palpatine.
Oh, that's amazing. That is amazing. I like that a lot.
Filoni's doing the cleanup here, or Favreau, but it kind of helps JJ's story of Snoke and everything else.
It really does. Oh, that's great. I love that. That's why they want him. Because that's been the big weird thing as to why the hell anyone, like, why are they going after Grogu? Like, what's the point? He's just a random Jedi. Like, who cares? But yeah, when you think about it in the context of that is brilliant. I didn't even think about that. That's amazing. Yeah, wow. Huh. Well, there you go. They may not be done. We might find they come after him again. You never know.
Oh,
I mean, Snoke hasn't been Palpatine still hasn't been reborn yet.
Yeah. I wonder if Moff Gideon would come back at any point as well.
I would expect so.
Yeah.
Giancarlo Esposito is such a good actor. You can't waste him, can you? And although his story was pretty neatly tied up in the first two seasons. I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. Anyway, there you go, guys. What do you think is going to happen during season 3 of The Mandalorian? Are you excited about it? Do you think that Grogu is going to finally fulfill his destiny and have a little Mandalorian helmet with the ears sticking out? Do you think that Din Djarin is going to get all he wanted on Mandalore and more, and that is a Waffle House being put on the planet? Who's to say? Let us know. Zane, how can people get in touch with us?
You can get in touch by using any of the links in the description down below, such as our email address, nerdsundisputed@gmail.com. Of course, you can follow us on all your favorite social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, @undisputed_nerds. You can follow me @Zane_Taicho. Again, all the relevant links will be in the description. GG, where can they follow you?
I'm so glad you asked. They can follow me on Instagram @gentlemanlygamer. You can also get me on Twitch every Tuesdays and Thursdays, twitch.tv/gentlemanlygamer. Currently playing through a horror game called In Sound Mind, which is phenomenally good. It is amazing,
Mm.
and taking me completely by surprise. So yeah, come check me out and say hello. 8:30 GMT every Tuesday and Thursday. I don't know what we're talking about next week. What are we talking about next week? Is John Wick 4 out yet?
I was going to ask you. I think Shazam's out this week.
Oh, did you go and see Creed?
No, not yet.
Okay. Creed 3. Wait, did you say Shazam's out this week?
17th?
Yep, that's next Friday.
Do you want to see Shazam?
Yeah, we might have to, although that is my partner's birthday weekend, so we might have to be careful with that. But yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure out the details. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you know when the next video or episode drops.
Delicious. Thanks, guys. We shall see you next week. Ta-ta!
Ta-ta!